Simp King Yugioh is brought to you by Simp King.
Welcome to another video. I forgot that we have to do the Synchro Link Festival before we go back to the main ladder. So today we are doing Ghotis, upgraded Ghotis. And what is the best way to play Ghotis right now, alright? Now, this obviously is modified a little bit because we're playing in the Synchro Link Festival. So obviously there are some cards I couldn't play. Max C is banned in this event. Thank you, Konami. So no Max Cs. But if you're playing this on the main ladder, you might want to swap some Max Cs in. Also, we're playing the Adventure Package, which is one of the best cards for Ghotis because it makes you a level 4 for free. And we are not able to play the Negate. So we don't have the related cards. Where is it? Wandering Griffin Rider not allowed in the event, so no Omni Negate here. Opponent is playing Dragoonides and is actually able to set up a pretty solid board here. We got the Heroic Seal, which is a bounce quick effect, and the Dragoonid Knight is a negate banish. The banish not as good against Ghotis because if they banish our monsters, then they'll resummon on the next turn, but that's okay. And they also have one set back row, which could be literally anything, but it's always Mirror Force. What do we got in our hand? Title. Someone mentioned I should try this out in Ghotis. We're trying it out, and it is actually quite good. The number one reason I'm playing it in here is because sending a water monster from your hand to the graveyard with Title allows you to search for the water adventure girl, water enchantress of the temple. Sends it straight to the graveyard. You banish it, you search for the right. Everyone knows how it goes. So that's the reason that Title is in here. Otherwise, we're just playing a pretty standard Ghotis list. It was not really hit by this festival ban list because it is a Synchro Link deck. Mostly Synchros, though. Most Distant, Deepest Depths, we're going to banish to search for an Ixeep. And the real reason I'm doing this is I want to clear the Heroic Seal. Heroic Seal is going to be a problem. It's going to bounce our Adventure. We want our Adventure token to clear the negate from the Dragoonid Knight. So, opponent, bouncing with the Heroic Seal, this Ixeep to hand. We didn't even use our normal summon. Opponent has 2 pieces of interaction left. This Heroic Seal also going to special a monster from the deck, but it is not any interaction right now, so we're not going to worry about it. All right, main phase 2. Let's get Adventure in. Right, summon the token. Get our Fateful Adventure. We're going to normal summon the Ixeep. If you're playing Adventure, you got to know how this thing works. All right, it's been a while since Adventure was meta, so just remember your Adventure tricks. All right, you get the Fateful on field, you normal summon, search for the Draco back, do not equip it, add it to the hand instead. And then when you search, you get to discard the Draco back, and that is going to activate in the graveyard, attach itself to the Adventure token. So we do it all without going -1. So we did it without having to use up a card. You do it the other order, you have to discard a card to the graveyard. Sometimes you'll want to do that with our Ghotis. We want to, there's some things we want in the graveyard. So Fateful Adventure discarding can be an upside, but for now we're going to stay card advantaged and get this Draco back. And now we're going to bounce, get bouncing. Dragoonid Knight's going to activate to attach itself, just boosts the attack defense, so no problems there. Because we already had the Adventure, we're going to use Title to send Shift to the graveyard by tributing our Silent Angler. We're going to activate that Shift in the graveyard, but boost, get our Ghotis alive, and now we're going to special summon a Legal Knight. That was a mistake. Find out why later. On to the opponent's turn. Shift going to come back. Let us do our Synchro plays. This is why it's a mistake. Opponent targeting the Illegal Knight with the Dragoonid. It is it's an ignition effect. So if we held this in the hand, waited till opponent activates the Dragoonid, then we could summon the Illegal Knight, dodging the ability to target, and we just fire off our Illegal Knight whenever we want. So a bit of a mistake. It's okay. Let's just activate in response, bounce his back row and the equip spell. Opponent responding by firing off that Imperm. We are going to respond with the Shift. All right, I did not know how this works. This effect says if you control an Adventure token, you can target 2 cards your opponent controls, give control of this card to your opponent, and if you do, return that cards to the hand. If you do not give your opponent the Illegal Knight, then the cards do not get bounced. So we're gonna get shifting, and I was like, let's see what happens. We're gonna use the Illegal Knight, Synchro Summon into the Croco Dragon. That's gonna draw us a card, and no sending back to the hand. All right, so the reason we did Croco Dragon instead of the level 6 Ariane Post is because Ariane Post forces you to activate Banish right now. We just want to hold our interaction. We're going to Croco Dragon hold, and Croco Dragon can discard and pop a card whenever we feel like it. Opponent targeting the Dragoonid Knight to summon it to the field. I would like that to not happen, so we are going to pop the Dragoonid Arms. That's probably not the best thing to do because Dragoonid Arms can summon itself back. We could have just gone with the Ixeep and, you know, made Arion Post banished. But you know what? It's all good. Opponent cards of consonants. Drawing 2. Drawn into that Dragon Ravine, going to activate, send a card to the graveyard, or because they're actually playing Dragoonities, they can add a level 4 Dragoonity from their deck to their hand. They're discarding. They're adding their Dragoonity Ducks. Ducks get summoned. We're at an interaction. We got nothing. We got literally nothing. Opponent can do whatever they want. Summoning Dragoonities apparently is what they want to do. But are we dead? I don't think so. We got some meaty fishes here in the way, and we're gonna live, and we're gonna get a next turn. And on our next turn, we can activate the effect of our Tidal in the graveyard. Tidal has effects for days. Opponent gets this Dragoonity Knight back, so they got that negate and banish again. Dragoonity Arms doesn't do anything, but it is going to smack us. Ixeep gets banished because it was destroyed by the Dragoonity Knight. Opponent choosing not to destroy the adventure token, though. That is pretty nice. But they're going to make that Heretic Seal. And Heretic Seal, going to immediately bounce our adventure token before we can get priority, activate the Draco back. Smart play on the opponent's part, getting another Dragoonity Arm. That is going to attach the Heretic Seal. That doesn't really do anything. We're going to activate, send the Water Enchantress to the hand, and discard it back to the graveyard. Now we're going to activate this. Really, I was just hoping to bait this out, and opponent fell for the bait. They're like, no adventuring for you. I think you got nothing left. So I'm going to banish, negate your Water Enchantress. So we don't get to search, but that is A-okay. Let's fire off Lifeless Leaffish. Shuffle our Synchro back into the extra deck. Shuffle some of our fish back. Draw a card. That is a great card. The Silent Angler is going to let us do some Synchro plays. Let's fire off the Distant Deepest Depths. Banish our Shift to get set up for the next turn. Add the Zep to the hand. We're going to normal summon the Zep. Special summon the Silent Angler. Sneak on in. Make the Arion Post. That's going to activate Tidal. Oh, sorry, it's not going to activate. We're not even going to choose to activate Arion Post because we already got both of our fishes banished. We got a Paces in our hand, and we got the Shift in the graveyard. We're going to activate the Tidal in the graveyard, banish water monsters from your hand or graveyard to summon itself. So we banish our Ghotis to summon Tidal. That's great. We set ourselves up. Set ourselves up for next turn. Tidal is here. Not big enough to smash over Dragoonity Knight, but that's fine. We just wanted our tuners back in the banish zone. Fish come back. Opponent negate banishing. That is going to stop Shift from coming back. Sad days. Sad days. Shift banish negated. Paces comes back. And we have our one interaction piece right now. Opponent summoning the Dragoonity Arms in attack mode. Big mistake. It's whale time. Whale activate. Pop the whole field. Trigger the Arion Post. Effect is search. And we actually do have an additional piece of interaction because earlier you remember I searched for that Zep in the graveyard, which means we can activate the Snopios. Snopios banished. The Zep is going to activate and Synchro Summon again. We can go into Deep Beyond, or we can go into any of our level 8 fish, or we can go into a level 9 fish. Where is it? We already saw it. We saw it earlier and I shuffled it back in. Oh, it's back on the top. Ravenous Croco Dragon, which will draw us an additional card. Very nice. Opponent popping all our spell and traps, but because we control Synchro Fish, Distant Deepest Depths does not get popped. Unpoppable. Opponent adding ducks to the hand. They think they can do more plays. I don't think so, opponent. Opponent getting their equip spell. Let's Snopios. Banish. And what are we going to do here? Probably banish the Dragoonity Ducks. Stop them from having any plays. Get lethal on the next turn, but opponent doesn't want to see it. Ghotis too strong for the Synchro Festival. Love to see it. All right. Stick around. I will have the deck list at the end of the video, but before then, let's get to the rest of the games. On to the next game. We got ourselves Tidal back in the hand, and awkwardly, every time I drew Tidal, I don't know why I also drew the Adventure Engine. I still feel the best thing use for Tidal is you discard a fish and then search your adventure. You get a Water Enchantress in the graveyard, search your Adventure Engine. But Tidal just wants to team up with Adventure so hard. He's just always in the same hand. Let's get Adventure in anyway. Normal summon the Silent Angler to search for the Draco back. Just like I said, search the Illegal Knight discard. Let's activate our Tidal. Opponent going to try and Ash Blossom. Tidal's effect to send to the graveyard. That we don't want that to happen. Let's call by negate Ash Blossom. Negate. We really want our fish sent to the graveyard here. Tidal going to send Schiff, and Schiff is going to banish itself, targeting Silent Angler, and that's going to give us our interaction. So we got the Illegal Knight, we got the Schiff comeback, Synchro Summon to banish or pop opponent's attack position monsters, and we got Illegal Knight. So I think we're doing good. Next turn, follow up, we got the Tidal in the graveyard, opponent playing Snake Eyes, and if you saw my last video, you know we're searching to these Snake Eyes cards because we want to use them to play Rescue Ace. I was going to play Rescue Ace today, but I realized I have to play some Ghotis in the Synchro Festival. Opponent, what is this? Sinful Spoils Subversion, turning our monster into an equip spell. This actually, I wasn't sure how this interacted with Illegal Knight. Illegal Knight doesn't care that the token is a monster, it just cares if you have the token on the field. So this, making the token an equip spell, actually, or continuous spell, actually does not matter. We can still activate Illegal Knight to summon itself, and we can activate it on the field to bounce stuff back to the hand. So it does detach the Draco back because you can't attach it to a non-monster, I guess. Opponent summon that Diabella Star. Diabella Star is going to set a original Sinful Spoils card to the field. Snake Eye, that's their searcher. But because it's set and it's a ignition effect to flip this back up, we can activate Schiff and just get banishing. So we're going to banish this. Banish the search. The downside of setting your, you dodge Ash Blossom. Sure, you dodge Ash Blossom here. Yet when you search to the field, but you don't dodge Banish. So let's get that Zep banished. Synchro, as can banish itself, banish the set back row. So what does Sinful Spoils do in this position? Because I know they still have more plays. They haven't used their normal summon. So we'll see. We'll see what Sinful Spoils can do. Diabella Star. Opponent. We got our fish back. We still got the bounce with the Illegal Knight. Normal summoning a Jet Synchron to go into level 8 Synchros. Easy play. Illegal Knight bounce both their monsters. Give itself to the opponent. Opponent wanted Sinful Seekers of Spoils drawing a card. And ending the turn. Alright. We got there. We got there. Shift comeback. Let's activate the Fateful Adventure. Discard the Water Enchantress. We can go Synchro 10 from this position, but opponent not even going to wait. They don't want it. They don't want it to happen. They've been out-goatied. Water beats fire yet again. Year of Fire, I don't think so. Let's go on to the next game. If you like the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll have more quality watery content in the future. And, this is a card I really turned around on. Distant Deepest Depths, I was like, kind of mid. I thought it was kind of mid. I thought it wasn't great, but then I realized you can use it to get a free body and to search each turn. And, once I figured out how to play it, I realized that it actually is quite a solid card. We're going to search for Schiff. We're going to write Avera's Mirror. Get an adventure token. We're going to get that Fateful Adventure. We're going to fire off, get that Illegal Knight. And one of the downsides of Adventure is that you can't activate effect of your normal summoned monster the turn that you activate your Adventure. So that does mean we can't activate Lifeless Leaffish normal summon or the effect of the Beautiful Princess. But I think it is worth the upside of having kind of a free negate if you're playing this on regular ladder or in this festival free double bounce. Double bounce, quite strong effect. This is a Penguin Soldier. This is a Penguin Soldier. It doesn't look like this is Penguin Soldier, but under this knight outfit, it's a little Penguin Soldier. All right, I'll believe it. You better believe it. Fire off the Schiff, and we got both our fish banished from that play. So we didn't even need the Lifeless Leaffish. Schiff comeback, Paces comeback. We got Ash Blossom. We got 2 activations. We got the activation of our Illegal Knight. Let's see if we can stop Adamantipator's Arion Post. Banish the Zep. Zep activate. They're both in attack position, which means we can get that White Aura Whale, wipe the field, and search. Beautiful. Love to see it. Field wiped. There you go. Opponent, what are you going to do next? Opponent with the Meteor. All right, well, it doesn't really matter what we do here. I'm going to activate Schiff for not really any value. Probably shouldn't even bother to activate Schiff. Yeah, because opponent's going to tribute our whole board. Whole board getting tributed. Not ideal with the Nibiru on your own turn, but what can you do? Croco Dragon, I don't know why I summoned this. There was no reason to do that. It doesn't draw a card because Nibiru tributes it before it can activate. We get a very thick token. Opponent summoning Adamantipator Risen again somehow. I guess they special summoned it the first time. Signs activating, special summoning the rock monster from the graveyard, and looking at the top, or setting a card on top of the deck. So we have Ash Blossom to negate that, but they got the Researcher to activate as well, so they're going to get to special summon. Now, Adamanticators haven't really been playable since they banned Block Dragon. I say they haven't been playable. No one's been playing them. They are significantly weaker without the Block Dragon, but still quite strong. All right, especially in a Synchro Festival where there's no fusions to speak of. All right, opponent activating that Monster Reborn. They got Spell Trap negate with the Risen Dragite, and Dragite, I forgot, it has another mode. Reveals a bunch of monsters on top of the deck, and for every rock monster it reveals, it can pop a card or something like that. What does it say? Activate top 5 cards. If you do, return cards your opponent's hand up to the number of rock monsters. So bouncing our token, our Fateful Venture, bounced back to the hand. Opponent firing off the Risen Raptite. And what are we going to do? Are we dead? Because, you know, in a situation like this, I'm like, am I dead? If I'm gonna die, I'll give up. But we're not dead because we got Snopios. Snopios can banish, summon itself to prevent us from getting killed. So opponent trying to go to battle. Let's summon Snopios, banish our fish. Target Snopios with his own effect, so when he dies, he gets banished. So let's banish that Croco Dragon, so Snopios comes back to the hand. Opponent cannot get lethal damage. We live. We live for another turn. Opponent, I don't know why they did this. They shuffled their Dragite back into the extra deck, and then summoned a Raw 10. Can you explain to me why opponent did this? Because it does not make sense to me. Like, Raw 10 is not better than having a Spell Trap negate, especially since they know we have a spell on the field they can negate. I guess opponent didn't like their Dragite. Parallel Exceed, and then they shuffled the deck again. I just don't understand. I don't understand that play. All right, opponent summoning 2 Parallel Exceeds, can't do anything with it because there's no Exceeds here. We're in the Synchro event, and Raw 10 is here to activate only in the battle phase. So very play aroundable. Let's show them how it's done. Shift come back. Paces come back. The fish are back. The fish are all here. Deepest Depths, banish our White Aura Whale. Search for the Ixheap. Ixheap summons itself for free because a card was banished. A fish was banished. Synchro summon our Post. Activate our Post. Banish our Snopios. Snopios, banish a fish. Come back to the hand. And now we're going to show off. This is an interactive play. We have Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Summon the level 2 back. And we can, we could just pass if opponent has nothing. We can't get lethal. But, opponent has 3 things on the board. Let's pop them right now. Get that Silent Angler to the hand. Tribute. Get our Stardust Dragon from the extra deck. Immediately Synchro Summon into the Satellite Warrior. Satellite Warrior going to pop up to the number of Synchro monsters in the graveyard. That means we could pop, if we have a billion Synchro monsters in the graveyard, we could pop opponent's entire board. We have 1, 2, 3 Synchros in the graveyard, so we're going to pop 3. Get popped. Opponent's entire field is gone. We got 5,500 attack. We can summon Snopios. That's 7,600. Special summon Silent Angler, and that's lethal. We could do some more Synchro plays too, though. Opponent knows it's over, and they are done. Love to see it. Ghotis still got it versus Adamanticators. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. Now, this is not my favorite of the festivals. I do love that I get to play my Ghotis, but Synchros and Links are known for very long combos. So if you're going to play in this event, you're going to want to play a deck that you enjoy playing because you're going to be spending a lot of time watching your cards while your opponent wombo combos. Let's show off what I mean. We're going to wombo combo a little bit ourselves. Summon that Lifeless Sleepfish. Opponent hitting us with the Imperm in this situation. Probably not correct, alright? You're playing against Ghotis. Just Imperm their tunas on your own turn. Don't negate the Lifeless Sleepfish. We already got Paces and Shift banished. Like, you're getting no value here. Too late. Too late to get value. Opponent negating. But, not going to do anything. Illegal Knight is here just to be a body. A defensive wall. A fortress to protect us. Let's get Shift. Let's get the Paces. Opponent, what are you up to? Opponent playing Black Wings. Now you know me. Not a fan of the Black Wings. They tormented me in Duel Links, and I haven't forgiven them. Opponent getting Black Wings, Steam the Cloak. All their monsters are in attack mode. I think it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity. Let's Synchro summon the Arion Post. Arion Post banish. The Zep return and Synchro summon the Whale. Whale is going to pop all their attack position monsters. Whale get poppin'. Now, I wish Konami would errata this card to not miss the timing. But until they do, we got to be careful and always do it when the chain is empty. Wipe the field. Search for the Snopios. Got to be careful about this. Or you activate this when anything is on the chain already. Like you Synchro summon it when something is underneath it, it will not activate. Very sad. Opponent Synchro summoning a Blackwing Dragon. We're going to fire off paces here. Opponent had the Blackwing Chinook in the hand. I think they searched for it earlier. I'm not sure why they didn't negate our White Aura Will. I don't know. Does this need... You need to have a Synchro on the field or something? It's a quick effect if you control Dark Synchro. Yes. So we probably should have banished the monster they used to make the Blackwing Dragon. Where is it? I think it was Vada. I think Vada we should have probably banished before it activated. Oh well. Too late. I should learn how to play Blackwing so that I can beat them. But, you know, I don't want to learn them. I don't want to learn them. They tormented me too much. Oh, we're out of interaction now. We got the Snopios, but not really interaction. It's just an additional body. Opponent, can you get lethal on us? Blackwing Dragon, but boosting, burning. Firing off the Black Whirlwind again. Summoning the Blackwing Assault Dragon. Alright, opponent getting to battle. Popping our beautiful monsters. Our whale getting popped. We're going to just activate Benicia Fish. Summon the whale again. Banish the ship, so ship's going to come back on our turn. Opponent passing. We are paying life points every time we activate because of this Blackwing Assault Dragon, I think. Yeah, every time you activate monster effect, we get burned for some amount of damage. Pretty sure it's this one doing that. Yeah, who knows? A lot of words. A lot of words on these Blackwings. But we survived and we got a lot of bodies on field. Let's see if we can use those bodies for good against the evil Blackwings. Blackluster Soldier Chaos. Is this the right play? I mean, probably would have been better to just go into Baron and popped, but this is spicier. This is spicier, right? This card also says if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, they can resummon a Synchro, so we don't want that to happen. We want to get banishing. Let's Snopios. Snopios get summoned. Target their Blackwing, so when it leaves the field, it gets banished instead. Summon the Azcan. Azcan banish the Blackwing Assault Dragon. Opponent popping it to destroy all cards on the field. That was why we didn't make Baron, right? Because Baron would have been forced to negate that. You know, we don't want to be forced to negate things. We want to do it only on our own choosing. Also, Blackluster Soldier can't be destroyed by card effects because we used our level 8 White Aura Whale as material. That's why we got Blackluster Soldier here. Let's banish our Azcan, forgetting we already activated this turn, so... Oh, we have not activated this turn, so we'll resummon. There we go. Resummon the Azcan. Trigger the Snopios. Get him back to the hand. Get opponent for big damage. Set that imperm, and we got lots of plays for the opponent's next turn. We got our fish coming back. We can Deep Beyond. We can activate Snopios. Because we have the Zep in the graveyard, we can Snopios and Zep to banish with the Azcan that Black Whirlwind. So opponent, you got 2 cards left. What can you do with 2 cards? So we'll find out. We'll find out soon. Synchro summon into the Azcan. Azcan Part 2. Such a beautiful card. Amazing art. Just a space fish doing what space fish do. Blackwings are done. They can't handle it. Too many Ghotis. Too much power. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. We have a very terrible hand. Alright. Nope, we got no plays. We have a lot of hand traps, but Ghotis, our 1-card starter, is the level 1 Beautiful, and the Lifeless Leaf Fish having paces and no level 4 normal monster in the hand is going to make us very sad. We cannot do anything. Alright, so let's get sad and just be sad for a turn. Alright, opponent, what can you do to punish us? Sword Soul Emergence. This is just bait. I mean, we're going to Ash it because there's nothing better to Ash against Sword Soul, but opponent, they're fine off Emergence, but you know they got Migro Mogi in the hand, revealing the revealing the Ashuna. So we do get to negate this. That is going to shut off opponent's turn here, which is nice. But we got to draw something to follow up right now, otherwise we are done for. Let's draw Beautiful. All right, Beautiful is good. Beautiful gives us a play. So we don't know what this is. I'm gonna guess because you know when you're playing you gotta guess. All right, I'm gonna guess it's Imperm, very commonly played. at 3, especially with no max C. So opponents don't usually know to imperm the paces before it activates. You cannot imperm paces after it activates because it banishes itself as cost. So we're going to activate paces, summon the Beautiful, also banishes itself as cost, summon a level 4 lifeless leaf fish. Opponent won't be able, like if they negate the lifeless leaf fish at that point, it's fine because we will have already banished our fish. It's too late to stop us. So let's hope that works. Opponent, Sword Soul Blackout. Just blackouting right now, popping our back row, popping our call by. That is going to stop us from doing anything. So we are again at the mercy of Sword Soul. Sword Soul, please don't get lethal on us. And if Sword Soul has lethal, we're gonna get out of here. All right, not lethal yet though. Opponent firing off the Vishuda, and from here it is pretty lethal. All right, so opponent, there they go, banishing the Shuna, getting the level 1, and now they can search with the Grandmaster. Grandmaster gonna search. They haven't used their normal summon yet, so they can just get the level 4 wind one. They're just gonna get an emergence. I don't know why you're just taking an extra step here. Getting a strategist. Okay, strategist means they probably already have Micro Moyi there in the hand, and this is lethal. So we are gonna get out of here. All right, good job, Sword Soul. All right, Sword Soul, very strong. All right, going first, going second, and Ghotis prone to bricking. All right, because we do have some bricky hands on account of the fish, the tunas, needing additional cards to work. So let's go on to the next game. All right, on to the next game. Ghotis, still fun, still amazing, still beautiful. Let's normal summon Beautiful Princess. Let's get our paces here. We're going to use the whole hand. Sometimes you got to use the whole hand. Summon the Zep, special summon the Silent Anger using its own effect. Summon that Arion Post, and now we got both our fish live. We got paces live, we got the shift live, we got call by, and we got Ash Blossom. Opponent, what are you up to? Can you stop the Ghotis? Shift is here. Paces is here. Opponent firing off Lightning Storm. All right, we got to dodge. Sad that we had our Arion Post in attack mode, but he's got 0 defense. He's very, very, very weak. So let's dodge the Lightning Storm. Summon the White Aura Whale in defense position. Get our search going with the Arion Post. Arion Post banishes itself to search. Opponent targeting our paces to negate it. So we cannot activate paces and start synchro summoning again. We are at the mercy of our opponent. Or are we? We have this Zep in the graveyard. Opponent. Negated. We got the Snopios. Opponent might not notice. Our sneaky. They always forget the sneaky Zep in the graveyard. Opponent activating. This is so sad. Activating the Ice Jade Ron Agerine. Discarding Agerine. This means we can call by, negate it, banish the one in the hand, or banish the one in the graveyard, negate the one in the hand. So you got to be careful when you're activating this card. That you are soft to imperm. Or finger, sorry. You're soft to finger. You get fingered if you discard the same card. Opponent, what next? Opponent normal summoning Deep Sea Diva, very powerful start. Luckily we have Ash Blossom. We also, as I said before, we have the Snopios to target our Zep in the graveyard and Benish, but we're gonna Ash Blossom this. Deep Sea Diva, no. Denied the summon. Opponent has more extensions here. Dream Shark. Special summoning itself for free. That's 5, 6, 7. Gonna let him Synchro 7, so we're gonna have to stop that. Opponent summoning the Dream Shark. Dream Shark is gonna get going onto the field. But let's just clean up the whole field here. Arion Post trigger itself. There's no reason to do this. Just do it for fun. Why not? Summon that Zep. Synchro summon the Deep Beyond. Clean up the field. Banish the field. All our fishies are coming back. Opponent has nothing. Ghotis, do it again. The best water deck there is. Let's do one more game. On to the next game. We got a very interesting hand here with double Supe. Now, it's probably normally correct if you got this double Supe situation going on to just discard the other Supe, but we're going to discard Shift because we want to activate Shift in the graveyard later. So let's get Supe in. Get Supe into Arion Post. Arion Post banish the paces, and now we can banish Shift, and now we got both our fish set up for the opponent's turn. Opponent with the blue eyes sleeves. Are they playing blue eyes though? Just have to find out. Now, We're going to also special summon Silent Angler in defense mode, so in case opponent manages to pop our Arion Post, we still got bodies to use our fish with. It looks silly to have a level 4 doing nothing, but really it's there as material for the opponent's turn. Alright, opponent, what are you up to? Double fish are here. We got all the Ghotis plays ready. Opponent playing Sword Soul. It's time to get revenge. We are going to wait. Alright, we're going to wait on the Ashuna. Not do anything. We could banish it, but we really want to banish the Vishuda, not the Ashuna. Opponent, Vishuda in the hand being revealed. We know they got it. And getting that token. So we're going to clear the token so opponent doesn't get a Synchro summon. And the Vishuda is not activatable. Let's activate right now. Shift. Summon the Azcan. I was really hoping they summoned this token in attack mode so we could make the whale pop both, but we'll settle for this. Search with the Arion Post. Banish, get that token cleared out of here. Opponent, of course, has the Heavenly Dragon Cycle to dodge our banish. But that's not the end of the world. That's fine. That is A-okay. Opponents use their normal summon. They've got a bunch of things on the board. They use 2 cards from their hand. I think it is time to activate our ultimate weapon. Azcan, come back. Come back. Now, we could do this 2 ways. And it's probably more correct to do it the other way. I did it this way just because I'm lazy. But we could go into our second copy of Arion Post, banish the Zep from the deck, and then use Zep to Synchro summon our 10. That would get Zep live in our rotation, but let's just be lazy. Go straight for the Deep Beyond. The other advantage of doing that way is it gets a Silent Angler in the graveyard, so we have more fish in the graveyard. We want fish in the graveyard. So get lazy, banish opponent's entire field. They have the Vishuda still. Hopefully Vishuda is not enough to get lethal. Opponent going to Monk of the Tenyi, and they got an Adhara. Adhara banishing to get back the Ashuna, and opponent's final card is the Strategist. So we are actually at a high risk of death here. Opponent making the Che Ying, the big Chungus, burning us for 12. Ashuna firing off. Opponent getting that Vishuda in defense mode. They do not have lethal damage. They are just shy. The Vishuda in attack mode would not have gotten lethal. We'd still have 500 life points left. So opponent getting in for not quite lethal. We survived the Sword Souls for 1 turn, and opponent failed to kill us. We got to get revengeance. Revenge ×2 against Sword Soul. Deep Beyond comes back. Now we have to be very, very careful with the Supreme Sovereign on the field. If we banish anything, it's going to trigger, banish a card from our field and our graveyard. We do not want that. So let's be careful. Let's show how you deal with a problem card like this. Normal summon. Lifeless Leaffish. Send the Zep to the graveyard for later. We'll use that later. Get the Abyss Keeper. Alright, now, Abyss Keeper. I rarely have summoned this, but in this situation it's perfect. You can use its mode to summon a monster from your hand, but the real reason we want it is because you can banish a fish from your field and a card from the opponent's board. So we're going to banish the Supreme Sovereign, banish Deep Beyond. Because Deep Beyond was banished from the field, he's going to come back next turn. Now let's finish our opponent's board. Sinopio summon, banish 2 fishes. Banishing the Azcan triggers the Azcan. Let's clear the Vishuda, clear the opponent's normal monster. Opponent gets 1 draw. We got Call by the Grave. We got both our Ghotis fish coming back. Get Deep Beyond coming back to be extra thick. Opponent, I don't think there's 1 card you can draw that would save you from this situation. We just have too much interaction. Opponent, you got Pot of Greed in that hand? Let's find out. Opponent with a Sword Soul Emergence. Not going to be enough Sword Soul Taya when it's normal summon. We're going to pop it before he even summons the token. And that is going to be game. Opponent knows it. Deep Beyond too strong. Revenge against the Sword Souls has been had. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to go through the deck list I have for the event. And then I'm going to show you what you should change if you want to just play this on regular ladder. Because this really is quite close to being a regular ladder deck. We got Supe. We got Beautiful ×2. We got Triple Paces. We got Shift ×3. We got Zep ×2. We got 2 Ash Blossoms, 1 Water Enchantress, 2 Silent Anglers. Triple Lifeless Leaffish, 1 Ixeep, Triple Supe Dustwalker, 2 Snopios, Triple Tidal. We got 1 Illegal Knight. We got the Rite of Erismir ×2. We got Dracoback, Deepest Depths ×2, Fateful Adventure, 2 Callbys, 1 Cross Out, which is great in Ghotis because you can just banish your starters, you can, or banish your Paces, banish your Shift. They're going to get summoned back on the next turn. Imperm ×2. In the extra, we got Arion Post, Stardust Dragon, White Aura Whale, XL Synchro Stardust Dragon. We got Azcan times 2. We got Croco Dragon, Satellite Warrior, Baron de Fleur, the Big Trungus himself, Supreme Sovereign. Go to the Deep Beyond, Psychic and Punisher, Abyss Keeper, and the Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. So, this is the deck for the festival. What do you change if you want to play this on ladder? Well, first of all, Maxi is forbidden. We gotta search things up, all right. But 3 Maxi, we'll pretend Maxi is in here. What are you gonna want to take out? The Supe package is really nice for Ghotis, okay, because you discard and you get a free Arion Post. But is it really worth it in ladder? You know, I think it's just too risky. So I would cut the whole Supe package. Just cut it. Cut Supe package. Play 3 Maxis, all right. 3 Maxis in there. All right, we got 1 additional spot. You're gonna want to play the Wandering Griffin Rider. You can play 1 or 2 Griffin Riders if you're playing on ladder, and you're gonna want to cut the Illegal Knight. It's just not as good as the Wandering Griffin Rider because of the titles getting us to search for the Water Enchantress. You know, that's all you really need. That's all you really need to get going. So what else? We got 1 additional card you can put in the deck. Well, you can see we're only running 2 Ash Blossoms because there's no Maxi here. You should probably play that additional Ash Blossom if you're playing on ladder because you really don't want to get Maxi'd ever. So yeah, play the triple Ash, play the triple Maxi. We got Cross Out Designate to negate Maxi, and yeah, you're really set. That's the list I would recommend. Our 3 blank spaces here are triple Maxi, and like I said, you swap the Illegal Knight for the Griffin Rider, and you'll be set if you want to play this on ladder. So let me know what you're playing this event. It's not as fun as the other one, but still entertaining to play with a slightly different ban list. Hope you're enjoying it, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.